page 116 to 240. I'm sorry that I haven't got the chapter numbers, but I'll just tell you that we start from the end of chapter 14 and then all the way to 240. I am sorry that we are taking great leaps in the book, but I hope that you still enjoy this book club, or let's say, book club, and going along the book with me, because this book is a very awesome book. It's a great book. So I hope that you still enjoy this book a lot. So, did you think that was cool that Esperanza's name was Esperanza from Esperanza Rising? And do you know the book Esperanza Rising? It's an awesome book with hundreds of thumbs up. It should get a 1,000,000-star review. It's awesome. But anyway, they were also pilgrims on a quest, and so that means that Rodeo and Coyote, Esperanza, and Salvador, they are all on a quest. Do you agree? And why do you think that Salvador doesn't like to talk about family stuff, like, let's say, more about him or his parents or his relatives? And but they both, his mom and his aunt had suddenly lost their jobs, right? Why do you think they lost their jobs? And but they thought that they could get to St. Louis, Missouri. Have you ever been to St. Louis, Missouri? I personally have not been there, but if you want, you can go. And excuse me. And then so Salvador is being a little rude, right? And also I wanted to ask you about Salvador's dad, right? And Salvador said dad like a curse word. When you read this, what did you think that why do you think that Salvador said it like a curse word, dad? And also, I wanted to ask you about Coyote, and do you think that Coyote and Rodeo is a good name, or do you think that is too foolish and that they should get sensible names? And did you think that was funny about how Coyote Sunrise and Rodeo Sunrise? I've never thought of Rodeo as Rodeo Sunrise. But anyway, I wanted to ask you too, why do you think that Coyote was angry at Salvador? And if you had been Coyote, how would you have felt too? Okay, in chapter 16, so she says that she's not very good at holding grudges. Are you good or not good at holding grudges? And also, Salvador says sorry, but Ivan is right now curled up on Salvador's lap. If you had been Coyote, how would you have felt about that? I would have felt that Ivan was a traitor. And also, in chapter 17, Coyote describes some feeling, right? Not exactly magical because it feels glittery and fake, but something that lifts you free, that makes you like some kind of rhythm, a humming rhythm, a good sensation, like harmony, thrumming harmony. Flying, and you don't know until you're in it. Like, have you ever felt that? But anyway, I thought that she did a very good job of it. And then also, what about the song? And I'm gonna say some verses. When you're tired and you're torn, humankind seems filled with misery. Then you can, yes you can be set free. And what does this have to do with Coyote and rodeo? And why is the end of the last sentence of the chapter, there's so much sadness in the world? Why is she suddenly so sad? And also, why was Coyote so sad? In chapter 18, I wanted to ask you too. And there's also something about rodeo, and she says it's very hot, right? In Georgia in August. It is pretty hot. I mean, I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure. And I encourage you to visit Georgia too. It's an awesome state. I've never been there, but it seems like an awesome state. But anyway, so I also wanted to ask you that there is a dine and dip, okay? And how do you feel about peeing in the river? Do you think that it is a very sensible thing to do, or do you think that it is not a very sensible thing to do? And then there was also about swimming, and it shows that coyotes, swimming is very important. Why do you think so? And also, this is where Salvador and the Coyote sort of say their secrets to each other. And I think that we have come upon a lesson here, and it is that if you say some things aloud, that it sometimes makes the ache in your heart, like the anger, the staleness, the dryness, the bitterness, fade away a little. And I wanted to ask you, do you agree with that? And Salvador's dad is really a jerk. And actually, Salvador says that. He says, "My dad's a jerk." He actually said that. Look on page 139. You'll find it, okay? And also, do you think that someone who is hitting is a jerk, would comply to becoming a jerk? And then he's always so sorry, but after a while, like, this sorry doesn't mean anything, right? Do you agree? And also, could you make an example that explains this? And also, Salvador and Coyote both don't like the sympathy look. Do you like the sympathy look? And they make a deal that they won't sympathize with anyone, okay? And it's a very good deal. Chapter 19. So this is like a real memory, and and they were in Nevada, which is a awesome state. I have been there, not for a long time, mind you, about a day or two, and there are some fantastic rock formations. Las Vegas is pretty cool with its casinos and lights. And also, you should check out Great Basin National Park. Never been there, but I've read a lot about it. It seems awesome. And there's also a lot of other things that you can do. There's more state parks and some other things that you could probably do, cities to explore. So you should go there. I recommend it. And also, in Nevada, they saw a coyote, and the coyote was looking at Coyote. And now you might be a little confused. So I'll just say, but all in all, a coyote was looking at Coyote. Okay, the coyote was looking at Coyote. Well, you could, if you're confused, And you can just switch it around and it's the same. Coyote was looking at the coyote, or the coyote was looking at Coyote. Both are the same thing. Coyote, the person, was looking at Coyote, the animal, or Coyote, the animal, was looking at Coyote, the person. Okay, so lots of coyotes. Anyway, I'm getting a little tongue twisted, so. Anyway, tongue twisted is actually a tongue twister in my opinion. Maybe not. But if you want to look at tongue twisters, then I'm pretty sure that you could find them somewhere. Okay, back on the subject. Let's get away from the subject of tongue twisters. So, this coyote had 2 pups. And did you ever see a pup of any kind, or actually any kind of baby animal? It could be ducklings, it could be cubs, it could be pups, it could be kittens, it could be well, you get the point, right? Yeah, like ducklings and gooselings, right? Okay, so and fledglings and fry. Okay, I got them. But okay, anyway, I'll stop. But you get the point, right? Have you ever seen any kind of baby animal? And also, I think that it would have been really cool if I could see that. But anyway, I wanted to also ask you in chapter 20, also I like the dine and dip, right? I advise you to try the dine and dip. It seems awesome, and yeah, I really want to have a dine and dip. But anyway, have you ever played Uno? I have not. But I think that it's going to be a great game, so I hope that you try that too. And then a call comes in. It's from Salvador's aunt. There's some bad news. And there is something very bad. How do you feel about Salvador's aunt's boyfriend, or Esperanza or Miss Vega's sister's boyfriend? Both basically the same thing. How do you feel about him? And if you had been with him, how would you have reacted to him? Would you have been very nice and polite, or would you have held up your fists and you have boxing gloves on them and you begin to punch him, or would you just kick him, or would you call the police? What would you do? And then she says about Michigan, that they have to go to Michigan, right? And now Michigan, really far away. So unfortunately, I do not have a map of the United States of America at this moment, but I will tell you this. Let's say let's say that this was the map, okay? So basically, Michigan would be right here, Michigan would be right here, and Missouri would be right here. Michigan is here, Missouri is here. And remember, it's very far away. This country's huge. Probably take another day. So I'm very sorry for Coyote. But unfortunately, and also Salvador is sorry about that. If you were Salvador, would you be sorry too? But fortunately, only 8 hours longer. And for coyotes, that's probably a very short time. For me, if I go on a car trip 8 hours, I can survive, but I am very bored. How about you? Are you the same? But still, talking about days, 8 hours is pretty short. So I hope that she makes it. Do you think that she will make it anyway? And now, but now she still needs some extra hours, which means she needs to talk with Lester. Okay, so how do you think that Lester accepted this information, if you had been Lester, would you have accepted that information, or would you have just been like, hey, Rodeo, Coyote's right now doing something just under your nose? How would you be like? In chapter 23, so she was, and now, so they had just found a good place for dinner, and then Salvador asks about answers to her questions, to her 3 questions, like the favorite book, places, and sandwich. Do you think those are very good questions? But anyway, I thought, but now there is, the attic isn't really an attic. How do you like the attic? Would it be very cool to be up on the attic? I think it would be. And then the good thing about it is that you can shout secrets to it, and even into the wind. Would you do that? I would. And do you think that's really cool about that too? And even though the other person hears it, why do you think that Salvador and Coyote yell secrets even if they weren't very secret? Because Salvador, in Coyote's case, or Coyote, in Salvador's case, was sitting right next to them, or standing. But I think it was sitting. Standing on top of a bus, even if there was a railing, would be very dangerous. But that would be very thrilling too. So it would be pretty cool. But anyway, so I wanted to say, and if you had been them, would you have done the same thing? And when you, and also, when you heard of all those names, how did you feel? Did you feel a little emotional and sorry? And there's also all these secrets, and when you hear all of those, how does it make you feel? And okay, so let's keep on going. At Petoskey, Michigan, it just came too soon, and I'm pretty sure that Petoskey, Michigan, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing if I'm not pronouncing very well, but anyway, she hated Petoskey, I'm pretty sure that Petoskey is a very good city with hundreds of nice people, thousands maybe, but I get that why she's very upset, which you would be upset too, right? But she likes goodbyes that are never said. Do you like goodbyes that are never said? And why do you think that Coyote likes goodbyes that are never said? And Salvador suddenly comes running, bye. And also, right, this is when I talk about the boyfriend and how he deserted the aunt, right? So Salvador comes running back because they don't have any job in Michigan, which at least they're together, still together. I felt good when I read that, even though I did feel a little sorry for Salvador. What about you? Okay, so chapter 25. So now there is an actual job in Washington, right? So yeah, Washington is also a very awesome state. So I advise that you go there too. I also advise that you also go to Idaho, where Boise is, and also where Tammy is. And I also advise you to go to Michigan. And also I advise you to go to Florida, which this whole adventure actually started. And I also advise you to go to Nevada, where Coyote's a coyote. And, well, I know that I am right now advising you to go to a lot of states, but these states are all awesome. Michigan, well, it has Isles Royal National Park, awesome national park. It also has the awesome Great Lakes. You can fish there, you can swim there, you can boat there, you can, and there's also some awesome state parks and all that right next to awesome Wisconsin. I advise you to go there too, but I'm not gonna go into specifics about Wisconsin. There's Florida. Florida has 3 national parks. One is Everglades. It is accessible by car. Other 2, I'm pretty sure not. But they are all awesome national parks. Like I said before, there is some state parks there. A lot of them actually. And you'll go to, in Miami is supposed to be very good. It's surrounded by the ocean, so I hope that you enjoy that place. Then there's Nevada. I actually talked about that place. But, yeah, sorry. So, Rodeo says that the universe seeks balance. Do you agree with that? And then there was another character. It was Val. And she was gay, right? And do you think that gay people should be chased out, especially by their parents, or not? And also, how do you think of this Val character? Do you like her in any way? And so Val and Salvador and Coyote got along very good, right? So how can you describe Val? Well, yeah, I actually said that before. But anyway, also, so there was a lot of regrets, right? And there was Val's regret about she never got to really have Megan. Like, she didn't really get to say anything to Megan a lot, and she had to leave. And Coyote, about the regret, is that she should have gone back for the box sooner. And Salvador's regret is like a violin, that his mother had never seen him play the violin. It was a little sad, right? And do you play any instrument? I actually do play the violin. It's a good instrument. But anyway, now they're really tired, right? And there is now chapter 27. But then Lester and Rodeo, then Coyote talked to Lester and Rodeo, and the secret plan is really cool, right? And then, in the secret plan, how did you think of this plan? Did you think that it was a very good plan or a very bad plan? And Coyote's being a really good friend. Do you agree? And then there's also a security guard came, right? How do you think that Val persuaded this guard to go? Do you think that so she did a very good job, right? Do you think that you could be as good as Val in acting? And okay, chapter 29. So also, how much do you like music? I just wanted to ask you that too. Also, what is your favorite composer? Because right now Salvador just did Chopin. Let's see, I don't remember the exact one. Actually, it's Violin Sonata No. 2 in G major by Handel. Sorry, it's Handel, not Chopin. But what is your favorite composer? If you have 2, you have 2. If you have 3, you can have 3. If you have 1, you can have 1. Who cares? And then Rodeo's is sort of like thinking. Right now, Rodeo was right now getting really suspicious in chapter 29, right? And then, so Coyote, she was brave enough to tell the truth. Are you brave enough to tell it? Do you think that if you had been Coyote, then you would have told the truth? Would you have been brave enough to tell the truth? And then Rodeo says it's a no-go when you heard it, right? But the other people all say that they need to go back home. And Rodeo gives in, right? And then, so how did you feel at that moment when you read this? Okay, but Rodeo got the message, right? It's great. So now we are on. So when you read that part, how did you feel? Okay, chapter 31. Okay, but anyway, Lester says that he's gonna break up with Tammy. Why? If you have been Lester, you did the same. Would you have done the same thing? And do you think it's sensible that he did that, or not sensible at all? And were you surprised at Tammy's reaction, or were you aren't surprised at all at Tammy's reaction? Lester's a very good friend. Do you agree? Okay, chapter 32. So there's there is Coyote says there's a lot of ways to wake up. There's good ways to wake up and bad ways to wake up. And could you give two examples for each good ways and bad ways that happen? And so now the brake wasn't working. If you had been Coyote, how would you have felt? And how would you have felt? And what would you have done? But Salvador's aunt gets it, right? She's sort of like a hero, and she's really good at driving, right? But now they have to do something, right? I mean, like the car's broken and everything. What do you think that they need to? What do you predict is gonna happen? And well, and how would you feel if you had been Coyote? And I just also wanted to ask you, as always, what was your favorite part of today's chapters? And also, what do you think will happen next? Yeah, and I hope that you have a great day. There are some other books that I have book clubs that I've already also made. And I will tell you more about them at the last video. But for right now, I will just tell you 3 of some other book clubs I have been doing. Number 1 is A Single Shard by Linda Sue Park. The other one is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. And there's also Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. All of them are really famous books, and I hope that you also check more out because there's more than those 3. Okay? Have a great, awesome day.